Nintendo is promising deep cuts and iconic favorites galore in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. What does the first trailer have to reveal? For those who haven't played some of the games further back in the Mario catalog, the bit in the trailer about Bowser becoming a painter may just seem like a goofy gag. A bad guy has taken up an artistic hobby. He gets really upset when Mario insults his colorful expression of love.
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that!
But painting has a long history in Mario lore. 90s kids will assuredly remember Mario Paint, the 1992 Super Nintendo game that came with a mouse and enabled players to create their own artistic creations right on their TV screens, in Mario style. Probably more important though is the Super Mario 64 connection. In that 1996 classic, Mario enters the game's various levels by jumping into paintings placed all around a castle, though it's Peach's, not Bowser's. Now, does that mean that Bowser's paintings are going to suddenly become portals to other places? Maybe, but if nothing else, it's definitely a nod to Mario's history with museum pieces. The first of Bowser's paintings we get a look at subtly depicts his hatred for Mario. Okay, maybe it's not so subtle. It's Mario as a skeleton, but still with his mustache and hat. Somehow his nose is also a bone. It's a very distinctive design, and that's because it's actually from a relatively recent game, Super Mario Odyssey. Players who are looking for something to do after finishing the main game can go out and farm a whopping 9,999 coins to buy the skeleton suit, which makes Mario into a skeleton that looks just like the one in Bowser's painting. Actually snagging it is one of the game's toughest challenges, given its astronomical cost, and it's purely cosmetic. Unlike the game's other outfits, it grants no added abilities. It just makes your guy look like a bunch of bones. You might think the skeleton suit is a nod to the Day of the Dead-themed characters that appear in Odyssey, but the design is pretty different. If anything, this is a dry Mario. Dry bones, skeletal versions of Koopa Troopers who reassemble after they get stomped on, date all the way back to Super Mario Bros. 3. They also appeared in the first Super Mario Bros. Movie. There's likewise a canonical dry Bowser who first appeared in 2006's New Super Mario Bros. Quick-eyed gamers probably caught another callback to Odyssey in the Galaxy trailer. During the portion where Mario and Luigi are riding Mario Kart-style motorcycles through the desert, they jump toward an unmistakable group of floating, upside-down pyramids. Without a doubt, they are visiting the Sand Kingdom from Odyssey, where that six-sided inverted pyramid is the centerpiece of the action. Desert levels are nothing new to the Mario franchise. They're in the series as far back as 1988's Super Mario Bros. 2, and pyramids are even on the cover art of the first Game Boy entry in the series, Super Mario Land. But again, this isn't just some generic nod to desert levels, it's the Sand Kingdom. There's no telling whether Mario and Luigi are just passing through on their bikes or actually spending some time in the Sand Kingdom, with its friendly hub area, Toast Arena Town. The faded Toast Arena decal on one bike certainly suggests they're paying a visit. And since the Galaxy movie appears to be a Mario series mishmash, maybe they'll visit some other Odyssey locales too. Would love for them to head to New Donk City or the Ruined Kingdom, home of a particularly angry and tired dragon. Bowser Jr., who is Bowser's son, but let's be clear, not one of the Koopalings, appears near the end of the trailer to announce that he's going to free his father from Mario's captivity.
And I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Bowser Jr. has been around for a while, first appearing in 2002's Super Mario Sunshine. He also appears in both Super Mario Galaxy games, but in the trailer, he has a very distinct look from a whole different game, 2023's Super Mario Wonder. Usually, Bowser Jr. just kinda looks like a kid version of his dad, wearing a bib with some sharp teeth drawn on it. He's way more threatening here because he looks like he does when he's made use of one of the Wonder Flowers from Super Mario Wonder. Wonder Flowers do all kinds of different things in the game, like starting stampedes or making pipes come to life. For Bowser Jr., they give him a much more intimidating bib, make his eyes glow, change the colors of his skin, and cause him to grow or shrink. We'll just have to see if Wonder Flowers play a role in the new movie. It looks like Junior's actually using a paintbrush rather than a flower to transform in the trailer, so maybe not. If you pay close attention to the end of the trailer when Bowser Jr. shows up, you might recognize the music that accompanies his appearance. Listen to this part again.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Yep, that's Prowler's theme from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Or at least it sounds pretty similar to it. We're not really sure if it's meant to just be a joke, since both Prowler and Bowser Jr. are purple, or if there's something more to it. If there is something more to it, it's impossible to say what that might be at this point. Whatever the case, it's a fun little nod that we were pretty stoked about when we noticed it. Speaking of music, there's another little reference in the trailer that harkens back to the good old N64 days. After Bowser walks back into his little castle, he starts singing a song to himself as he goes about his business.
Sipping the soup, cleaning the paint. Boodle-doo, boodle-doo.
90s kids definitely remember that this is Bowser's theme from Super Mario 64. While it's easy to feel nostalgic watching these new Mario movies, something like this definitely stirs up those memories of hanging out with your friends in the basement at 2 a.m. and getting real mad at Bowser during that final boss fight. Or maybe you're one of the lucky ones who beat him on your first try. Either way, it all just reminds us of beanbag chairs in a world without smartphones. The final sequence in the trailer showcases a villain that every fan of Galaxy instantly recognizes, Megaleg.
Princess Rosalina, you're coming with me!
In the Galaxy game, Megaleg is a massive tripod robot that resides on its own mechanical planet, one that's just big enough to accommodate it. It has a lighthouse sort of thing on the top of its head, which holds a grand star. To beat it, you first have to climb its legs, dodging bullet bills while doing so. Once you reach its head, you have to use the bullet bills to break open a surrounding cage, and then the actual case that houses the grand star. Releasing the grand star results in Megaleg's defeat. Pretty easily, honestly, as far as boss fights are concerned. While Megaleg is automated in the game, it sure looks like it's actually being piloted by someone in the movie, most likely Bowser Jr. Though it looks pretty intimidating at first, Princess Rosalina seems to make pretty quick work of it after she is so rudely interrupted. A big detail you miss because he straight up wasn't here is any hint of Yoshi in the movie. A few days before the trailer dropped, Yoshi's design for Galaxy was convincingly leaked through an apparent security breach at Pillsbury. There he is, in surprisingly scaly glory, soaring through space with Mario just like he did in Galaxy 2. Yoshi being in this movie isn't supposed to be some big surprise. The credit scene of the first movie makes that clear enough. But it is interesting to see that he's not a part of this first big trailer at all, when he's clearly going to be a pretty big part of the final movie. There's a lot going on about a minute 40 into the trailer while Peach is going all John Wick on some ninjas, which is kind of your only option when you're surrounded by ninjas. This chaotic scene doesn't seem like a direct pull from any Mario game, but it's got the trappings of a few of them. The styling of the surfaces evoke the gravity fields from the Galaxy games, which explains why there's ninjas flying around from every direction, running past slot machine-looking kiosks sticking out of the walls. Those, plus the giant roulette wheel, do a lot to evoke any number of casino-style minigames from the Mario series, or casino-themed areas. It makes us wonder if Peach hasn't been poured into a bit of a Ninja Jump Party style challenge in this section of the movie, a little one-off challenge for the princess on her way toward a larger goal. Finally, it feels like there should be a dozen little references in all of these Bowser paintings, but even cranking up the bitrate, there's not a ton to see. We've got these little flower guys from Yoshi's Island, that's nice. Beyond that, it's mostly just little variations of people we already know. But this painted variant is special. On the right, you can see Bowser happy as a clam in his flying Koopa Clown Car. Nothing terribly new there when it comes to the technology. We saw them in the last movie. But it is the first time we see Bowser's version of the giant, smiling, flying pod in movie form. He painted himself looking so happy flying around in that thing. It may be bad news for Mario, but we hope he gets his hands on one for real when the Super Mario Galaxy movie hits theaters in April 2026.